Alright, so you want to eat fish and chips. You got one ingredient. What do? Combine those ingredients, make your fish and chips. Don't buy it from the fish and chip shop. You want hash browns. Make hash browns. Don't buy them from the supermarket, frozen, packed with preservatives. So, guys, we've got to get this whole word, which comes to my next point, point number 4, of convenience, out of our head. Convenience kills people. Convenience is what's giving our society diseases. Convenience is what's our biggest problem is. We're so used to going to a supermarket, buying something out of a freezer, buying something out of a packet, throwing it in a tin, throwing it in a pot, cooking it, and then eating it without actually thinking about where this food's coming from or what's inside the food to make it convenient. Um, it seems a bit far-fetched to think that you have to start cooking all your own food, but let's go back and think for a while when your mum was growing up or your grandma was growing up, how good the food was, how nutritious the food was, how little disease there was, how active people were, and how much better people felt. I mean, it's quite simple that the food they were eating was good food. It was whole food, nutritious food. And I mean, the food back then wasn't covered in chemicals and pesticides and things that are on our food today. And that's why it's so important that you think about what you are eating and think about what you're putting in your mouth. I mean, an example would be to get a normal apple and get an organic apple. And the organic apple will always taste different to your normal apple. It'll be sweeter, it'll be juicier, and it'll have a lot more nutrients for your body than that normal apple will, because excuse me, that normal apple has travelled from, say, the Philippines to Australia. On its journey, it's picked up a lot of pesticides, a lot of diseases, a lot of chemicals to preserve it. Often it'll sit in the supermarket for 12 months before they even put it on the shelf, and then we consume it thinking that it's fresh. In comparison to that, you've gone to the farmer's market, picked up an apple from Jimmy John down at Warrandyte farmer's market, and you bite into that apple and you know that it's fresh, it tastes good, it tastes healthy, it tastes nutritious, and you feel so much better eating it. Now, I'm not saying you all have to go out and buy organic. It can be dear, but be aware of what you are eating and how nutritious it is for your body. Because the more nutritious something it is for your body, the more value your body will get out of it, the fuller you will feel, and the better you will feel. If you are concerned about price, about going to the farmer's market, buying organic, well, go to a farmer's market. They're always cheaper. They cut out the middleman, and the fruit and the vegetables are incredible. You get fresh eggs there, everything. It's all incredible. And even on that, I mean, the meat that we even consume these days is not really good quality meat, and we overconsume it way too much. And again, that's a problem that we're having in society that's causing a lot of diseases. I mean, eating too much red meat even causes depression, which is what they're finding. Now, why is that? These animals are being pumped full of drugs, or they're being genetically modified to suit the demand for us, for bigger chicken breasts or for bigger pieces of meat, or chunkier pieces of meat. They're pumping them full of drugs and hormones and things like that, so then we eat them. Now, a lot of people say their meat's hormone free or it's free range, but remember there's restrictions and there's rules that people bend. I mean, free range, I think, can be classified as being in a pen that's 1 metre by 1 metre big. So it's not really free range at all, is it? Whereas down at the farm, the chickens are running wild and they're running around, and the nutrition in the eggs is a lot better than the eggs generally you buy in a supermarket. So think about what you're putting in your mouth and the quality of what you're putting in your mouth too, because that's what's really important. So to touch up or go over, cut out sugar, read the back of the packet, eat one ingredient food if you can, and eat healthy and nutritious food, and be aware of where this food's coming from and what it's doing inside your body. Okay? You remember those 4 things, then really you can't go wrong. Also, when it comes to food, think simple. Don't overcomplicate what you're eating. The more you think about it, the harder it is. Do you know what I mean? The harder it is, you put all this pressure on yourself to eat well and to count the calories here and count the calories there, which look, it's fine if that's what you think keeps you on track, but think about how you're going to do it long term, and think about if it's something you can do long term. And if it isn't, step back and readjust and reevaluate what you're doing until you can manage to find something that you can do for the rest of your life. Because it's not about an 8-week competition only. It's about getting you into the right habit to do this for the rest of your life. And if you don't, well then you're going to keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. What they call the yo-yo effect, which is what we want to eliminate. Because if that's what we want to achieve, I can just go and put you on a slim fast diet. You lose your 6 kilos in 6 weeks. You look great for 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden you come back to that circle, you fall off, and you hit rock bottom again. So what you've got to do is you've got to set yourself a platform, so a base of rules or a base of, I guess, principles that you follow. So if you do for some reason fall off that wagon, you hit that base of principles that you can learn from again, and then step up. We are human. We have been brought up in a society where things like gelati and chocolate is also common. So look, there might be times where you want to eat that, which is fine. 90% of the time, if you're eating well, you're exercising, you've got the ability to then venture off and try something like that if you choose. I'm not saying that you have to. The choice is there. So if you choose to eat it, you can eat it. Given that you've been true to your principles and your rules that you set for yourself. Okay? It's all about what you set for yourself, not what we set for you, what you set for yourself. And if you're happy with those rules and you're happy with your results, well then they're fine. But if you're not, let's readjust them, let's reevaluate them, let's sit down and talk about how we can change these things. Because if you're not happy with it, then we're not happy with it. So you've got to make sure that deep down what you're doing is the right thing for you, and what you're eating is the right thing for you, and you're happy with what you're eating, what you're feeding your family. Going in on food, hopefully all that makes sense. Going on food, it's also important to eat every 2 to 3 hours to keep your metabolism ticking over. Your metabolism is what burns energy. Okay, so your metabolism is this little fire that burns and burns and burns, and when you pump food into your body, it keeps this fire going. So the more nutritious and the healthier the food is, the better this fire will start to burn. You don't turn this fire on in the morning by not eating breakfast. It does you damage. Okay, it does you damage because your body isn't turned on for the day. It's like getting in your car, trying to start it without petrol in it. Not much happens, does it? Same thing for your body. You jump in to your car in the morning, you get to work, you start working at 12:30 and you haven't eaten, none of your vital functions, none of your vital signs in your body are working yet. They haven't turned on, so your body, I guess, is in disarray, so it doesn't know what's happening. When your body doesn't know what's happening, very smart tool, it starts to freak out and go, okay, I haven't eaten for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours from the night before. The next thing I consume, I'm going to hold on to because I need this to function. I haven't got it yet from the morning breakfast, so I need this to function. You don't want to turn your body into a storage machine, okay? You want to turn your body into a burning machine. Eat every 2 to 3 hours. Eat nutritious meals, small meals that keep your metabolism burning over. Again, you guys want more detail, write out your food diary, give it to us to look at. We'll highlight it, go through it, and then we'll help you make the changes yourself. Okay? That's all you have to do. Eat every 2 to 3 hours, keep your metabolism burning, keep it pumping, so then your body knows it's getting energy, it knows it's getting food, so then it doesn't have to hold on to everything you give it, and then think, well, I'm going to pack all this stuff on, leave it on my ass, or leave it on my hips, just in case I need it later, because Tom doesn't feed me breakfast in the morning. We don't want that, guys. We don't want that at all. You want your body to become efficient at burning energy. Okay? Efficient at burning energy. And if you've got those principles that you set into place, those 3, 4, 5 points that you follow, and they're reasonable, and they're realistic, and they're achievable, then ultimately you probably will be eating every 2 to 3 hours. Your metabolism will be ticking over really well because you've got your fundamentals in place. which is what you need to do, is have those fundamentals in place. Nutrition should be something easy. It should not be difficult, and I think these days people make it too difficult for us to follow. We get bombarded with lose weight fast, 6 kilos in 6 weeks, 3 minutes to fast abs. Everything is just fast, 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 and we start to lose sight of the bigger picture and what it's all about. And at the end of the day, long-term results are about putting good practices in place at the start and achievable, maintainable practices, and not thinking about quick fixes. Because quick fixes, I'm sure you can name 2, 3, or 4 people that you know who have gone on a quick fix diet and failed. I certainly can, and I'm sure you guys can too, because they just don't work. They don't work because they're not achievable and they're not maintainable. Okay, guys? Education is the key. You learn from us, you teach somebody else, they teach somebody else, so on, so on. So everybody is on the same wavelength and everybody knows about how to eat properly. Everybody knows that eating out of a packet where you can't even read the ingredients list is no good for you. You know what I mean? Everybody knows drinking Coke Zero is no good for you. Everybody knows artificial sweeteners are no good for you. Okay? These chemicals are chemicals for a reason. Your body doesn't need them. Okay? Your body doesn't need chemicals. So don't think there's a quick fix solution to your eating habits, because there isn't. There's a long-term fix, which is what you've got to find, that long-term fix. Everybody's different. Everybody is different. Find what works for you, experiment with it, adjust it, refine it. Okay? I still refine my diet all the time. I mean, I've gone vegetarian now for 2 weeks, thinking I'd never ever go vegetarian in my life, and it's probably been the greatest 2 weeks so far I've ever had, in terms of the amount of energy I've got and how I'm feeling and how I'm thinking is a lot better, a lot clearer. Now, for me, that works. I used to eat a lot of meat, and I guess that limited the amount of other nutrients I used to get into my diet. So for me, that worked well. For me, cutting out all the preservatives and the additives in food has worked well. For me, organic has worked well. So I'm experimenting, and I've always continued to experiment, which is what you guys also have to do. Okay? So don't think of a quick fix when it comes to food. Cut out all your sugar. Go shopping from the back of the packet first. Walk in, turn the packet around, and read it. Okay? Make sure you eat healthy, nutritious, one-ingredient foods. It's probably the easiest way to keep this food thing simple. Eat plenty of fish. Eat every 2 to 3 hours to keep your metabolism ticking over. And do not eat. Not eating is the worst thing you can do for your body, because it goes into that starvation mode and you go into that circle where weight goes off, weight goes on, weight goes off, weight goes on. Think long-term, maintainable, achievable results, and I guarantee you that it'll work, guys. Good luck. Remember, fill in your food diaries, give them to us to look at. We'll make changes, we'll get you to have a look through them, and then we'll work together to achieve a maintainable plan that works for you. Alright guys, good luck, and I'll see you in the gym soon, for sure. Bye-bye.